Hello, everybody. Welcome to Players and Creators. I am the DM, and welcome to It's a Wild, 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 Wild Mount. Um, I always feel like I need I'm either saying one too many or one not enough wilds, but we got there. Uh, so welcome everybody. It is I don't know where any of you are watching from, but it is damn cold where we are. So some places even got snow, which is freaking crazy. But yeah, I hope wherever you are, it's nice and warm, or you're toasty, or comfortable, or what have you. Um, so as we get started, the few announcements. Once again, we are sponsored again by our friends at Never Ending. Never Ending is this amazing new web-based visual storytelling platform. It's funny because even during last night's D&D session, a few people in chat were actually talking about how great it would be for these animated to make these games into kind of like an animated series or just like small animations, and that is exactly what Never Ending can do. If anything that you've either watched us play for Wildmount, or from Lost Mines of Phandelver, which is the other D&D campaign, or even your own campaigns if you're running a campaign, whether you're a player or a DM, to kind of put those stories into a visual format. Whether you can draw or not, and Neverending actually makes it very simple for you to do. So you don't even have to know how to draw. You just have to know what your characters look like in your mind. So it's really great. You can use the character builder, create a custom avatar, not just for your tabletop games, but you can use them for social media as well. You can create your characters, you can create your NPCs, and there are a variety of different types and builds, hairstyles, eyes, ears, outfits, weapons, so many more things. And there's so many unique character combinations. It's crazy. There's just you're basically whatever you think your character should look like. I'm sure if they don't have it yet, they are in the works to get to put these things into the character builder. Their Kickstarter was super successful, and not only was it funded in less than 90 minutes, they actually met so many different goals. Now they've unlocked gender neutral bodies, bird folk, pirates, and a number of other different types of things, including animal companions and pets. So these are the things that are going to be rolling out on Neverending. If they're not on there yet, they will be shortly. So please, if this is something that you are ever interested in doing, or at the very least you just want an avatar, you can use them, as I said, for your social media, but you can also use them for tokens in your virtual tabletops if you wanted to. So you'll see in our overlays here in the stream, you will actually see all of the players actually made their own PCs using the Neverending app, and that is what you will see in our during the stream. All right. So if you can use their beta character, if this is something that you really want to do, and again, we strongly encourage you to do this. If you've ever wanted to kind of draw your character out, you can go to the beta character builder. It's at bneverending, all one word, .app. But the website itself is bneverending.com. All right, so thank you again, once again, for Never Ending for sponsoring us. We really appreciate it, and we are really enjoying putting our characters together and building them. I can't wait to see what comes up next. All right. Next announcement is we have a couple of things. You will actually start to see slowly rolling out by hopefully by the end of this weekend it'll be completely rolled out. Our new merch store. You will see in the chat occasionally. You will see the link for it in the chat. By tomorrow, we will have the actual link that you can click on in the Our About section. And by the weekend, it will be posted all over our social medias and Discord and such. So we are actually using the first merchandise that we're rolling out is for our Monster Hearts 2 game, which actually starts on May 3rd, which is a Monday at 7:30 p.m. And the artwork, we're using the artwork from that. The artwork is done by the wonderful Isaiah Roa. Uh, they did amazing work on the character creations, and so you'll be able to pick up T-shirts and stickers for our patrons. I'm still waiting for them to kind of finish up that. All of our patrons actually, there is a poll in the just for the patrons on Patreon of what merchandise we will actually be putting up next. We have some options of cups, like mugs, pictures with the mug, on the mugs and stuff like that. So if you're a patron on Patreon and you have not actually filled out the poll, make sure you fill out the poll so I can actually update the merch store. All of the merch will actually be will just help support everything that we're continuing to do, because we're so far. Everything has been going so awesome and great, and that has to do mainly with all of the support that we're getting from all of you. So thank you again so much. Our goals are continuing to build up. I had a very successful stream on YouTube last Monday where I streamed Disco Elysium. That is a trippy as fuck game. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I can't wait to keep playing. But that's going to be any Monday that I am not streaming the Monster Hearts game here on Twitch. I will be streaming on YouTube Disco Elysium exclusively at this point until I finish the playthrough. So please join us on that when you get the chance. All of that information can be found in our About section. And again, also highly encourage you, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, to please join our Discord. Please join us on Twitter, on Facebooks, on Instagrams, on the My Faces, and all of those things. And yeah, so I try to update those as best I can. Again, this is a singularly one-person operation with amazing help from my mods as well. But I do the best that I can to update and talk with all of you as much as I possibly can. So again, thank you everybody for your support, for everything that you have been doing to help continue encouraging us to do this. As long as you enjoy what we're doing and want to keep seeing more, I will keep doing as much as I can and keep putting it out there. Tomorrow is Friday Night Magic. I'm going to say that Friday nights is very quickly become one of my favorite streams, as well as my D&D campaigns, simply because I am really loving the new Magic deck, the Strixhaven set that just came out. And I think I probably created the craziest deck ever. But if you want to see what that is, you got to watch tomorrow, 8 p.m. every Friday night. But please join us if you get the chance. I would definitely appreciate that. But you are not here to see Magic this evening. You are here for Dungeons and Dragons. So let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. Come on, camera. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now all is right with the world. All right. So a quick aside, just for everybody who did watch last week, we did have some technical difficulties with our virtual tabletop. We thought they were resolved. They are not. But about 5 minutes before we actually went live, we figured out the problem, but we can't fix it now. So we're going to be doing the same thing we did last week. It's essentially going to be like old times, where everybody's going to tell me where they want their characters on the map, and I move them around, and we'll still play. We can still play perfectly fine like that, but that's essentially what's going to happen, just in case anybody was wondering after what happened last week. So, okay, before we even get started, hello players.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm always all business. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
All right. So, last week, actually, let me just show everybody where we are. All right.
How
So
you doing, Ocelotus?
last week, when we got together, the group found themselves continuing their I guess the best word would be at this point investigation of the what is now known to be the former laboratory of a wizard of the Jewelous Dominion, known as Zylrei the Scary, possibly a dragon, according to some of the players. But they were set upon in various rooms by not only some imps, but a large undead minotaur skeleton. At one point during the battle, a portal opened up, which more imps began to emerge from, and thankfully, Rowan made her way over to where the portal was, where it seemed to be anchored by the mummified corpse of an imp, chained to a large statue depicting an imp. Upon destroying the mummified remains of this imp, the portal fizzled out and closed, leaving the adventurers looking around, making sure that everything seemed safe, but also figuring out their next steps. Whether they are safe to continue or not. They did decide, as we left off, that they were all going to, for the evening, make their way into the laboratory that they originally came into. And Rowan, please correct me if I'm wrong, but you are going to be in your regular shape rather than your giant lizard.
That's correct. I think we all went for a long rest after.
Right. And let's see. Everybody's in there. Lizard, go bye-bye. And all right, so Angelina. There you go. So you all made your way to this room for a long rest. As you made your way to this room, stepping over the corpses of the imps, Rowan at some point had scooped up all of the remains of the Minotaur skeleton, including its weapon and helm, into the pocket hole. And you are now taking a long rest in this room. There is only one door, but 3 points of entry to this location. The door leads into what looked like the bedroom that the imps had overtaken previously. The other entrance is the one where you came in initially, right there. I don't know why I use that. And where the puzzle floor was, and then the entrance where you came in through. Those 2 latter entrances do not have doors. So now that you are all currently in the room, what would you like to do?
I believe we were taking a long rest, so we should be
Taking
Okay.
Watch.
setting watch.
Okay.
Yeah, we should set watch.
Yeah.
All right. So who's taking watches?
I'll take first.
Okay. All right.
I'll take first watch along with Phoebe.
Okay.
Oh,
Phoebe
do
and
you
Sonia.
want to, Jarina? All right, Jarina says she's taking watch with Phoebe.
All right.
Alrighty. Who's taking second watch?
I'll take second with
With who?
Can I go with you, Sarah?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And who's taking third?
I'll do third.
Okay.
I'll also do third.
Cool.
Okay.
Rowan gets to sleep through.
Alrighty.
I was having issues with my my push to talk here.
Oh, I thought you were going to
It's
practice
letter
turning
M.
into a chicken. I love you.
Ooh, the shade.
Lies.
My
Shady throwing
word.
shade.
Alrighty. So, with that, you all begin to take your rest for the eve. You don't even know what time it is at this point. But you do begin to take a long rest. Let's see, Phoebe and Jarina. So the rest of you begin to kind of like find a spot on the floor or on one of the tables to kind of take your rest. Phoebe and Jarina, you are up for your first watch. I need the two of you to make perception checks for me, please. They are going to be individual rolls because unless you say differently, I'm going to assume that one of you is at one door and one of you is at another.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Phoebe, what'd you get?
I got 17.
17. Okay. And Jarina?
You're muted.
She has something in her mouth. Nope, can't hear you, baby.
Six. Nice. Alrighty. Off to a great start. Alrighty. So, over the course of the evening, during your watch specifically, Phoebe, you kind of look out. You kind of at the top of the map, essentially watching where the eye was. There is no bright light coming from this room, no bright blue light anymore. And knowing also that these imps seem to be invisible at will, you keep a very, very sharp eye and ear out. But thankfully, you don't hear or see anything that gives you any pause. You look over to Jarina, where she's kind of sitting at the door with Maya kind of perched on her shoulder, kind of nodding off every now and then. You do see Maya occasionally, like when Jarina kind of nods off, kind of like nip at her ear and kind of wake her up. But unfortunately, you know, she seems like she's trying to do her best to keep watch, but is fading in and out at best. But as both of your watch comes to a close, nothing seems untoward. Nothing seems to be an issue at this point. And you make your way over to wake up your two companions who are taking the next watch, Leah and Sora. All right, so I need Leah and Sora to both make me perception checks, please.
Gotta fuck.
What?
I am so hurt and tired that I wasn't really paying any attention and rolled a 4.
Okay, Leah, what'd you get?
20 not natural.
Okay, interesting. Sora, you're a little freaked out with everything that's been going on. These imps. You're actually during this time, every now and then, just kind of looking over your shoulder. Because you've also noticed that the imps seem to be able to become invisible at will. And every little noise, every little pebble or rock that seems to fall from the ceiling in this room, and it does happen over the course of the evening, just naturally, you believe to be an imp. And so your watch is very much interrupted in this way. Leah, as you're kind of keeping watch and trying to figure out what's going on, you're kind of looking out over the puzzle floor. And as you're looking over the puzzle floor, you hear a very familiar voice, and you kind of look over, and leaning it up against the wall, arms crossed, is Varys. And he goes, "All right, you didn't listen to what I said, and you didn't use them as fucking meat shields, and now we are in Crazy Wizard Town, with fuck all imps and crazy shit that's happening. We just seem to keep getting further and deeper into this hole. I hope you do have a plan."
I always have a plan. We have to see this through for now. We've also acquired a portable hole, which can be used for many, many things.
Right. I think you need to take that from Crazy Druid Lady as quickly as possible. She's going to put you all in that hole and carry you around with her. So then she can draw you at her leisure, because you will all be dead corpses that she can pose any way she wants.
I wish I didn't know that was true.
You and I've seen it. She did it with the frog people.
I know that was crazy, but she's very helpful, and she's keeping us, she keeps that crazy in check for right now.
I hope so. I hope so. Just I always follow your lead, but anytime you want to share the plan, I'm all ears, because damn.
Everybody's all ears at the moment. It's not a good time. But we have Lucy catching our back as well.
Yeah, a little creepy. Still, that's another thing. But I'm again gonna trust you on that. Super creepy little thing, but that's fine. If
She's adorable.
Sure, we'll go with adorable. We'll go with that. All right. By the way, that's a little weird. And he starts pointing to the table that all of you have actually you've actually all been at previously. Specifically, it is, so I can just show you on the map real quick. It's this table over here. And as he's pointing over to that table, and you take a look, that's the table where Rowan and Sora and you had actually found that journal and a couple of scrolls and things like that. And mostly everything on that table was either taken or turned to dust. Like, it was so old. And as you look on the table where Varys is pointing, there's a scroll open on the table.
I'm gonna go over and take a look at it.
Okay. As you go over and take a look, you recognize this scroll. This is the scroll that Sora looked at very confused, because she said that it had like names of components and spells on it, and she rolled it up and she gave it to Rowan, but it's now on the desk, open.
I'm gonna try picking it up and see if it stays with me.
Okay. So you pick it up. You have it in your hand.
Can I read it?
Sure. Let me bring it up so you can actually see what it looks like. Give me 1 second. All right. And essentially that's what it looks like. On the top it says, read untouched to gain new spells.
Would I be able to have a copy of this for my records?
Well, you want to, you can easily, like, if you have some paper and some ink and, you know, you can make...
No, I'm sorry, I meant that again. Because I can't write it all down right now.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you pick it up. What do you want to do with it?
I'm gonna read over it while we're keeping watch. I'm gonna look at it and see if there's anything hidden in the corners. Hold it up to light, stuff like that.
Okay. While you're taking a look at it, let's see. I will say, make an insight check for me.
$17.
17. All right. So over the course of your watch, you're kind of holding this in your hand, and you're kind of looking through it, and you're trying to make heads or tails out of it. You watch as every now and then Sora's like, what? What? And she looks genuinely freaked out, not paying attention to you at all. And about an hour and a half into just kind of looking through this, and like something, it's just like kind of like it's just like right on the edge of trying to figure it out. And Varys kind of leans over and takes a look at it, and he goes, you know, I do believe, if I had to take a guess, do you mind if I take a guess?
Go for it.
I do believe that if those letters in the middle possibly they probably spell something out, like a clue or something.
That makes sense, yeah.
So yeah, but I could like other than that, like that's the only. It's a guess. It's my best guess. But and you believe the same thing, Leah. Like
I'm gonna write down the letters and as much of this as I can to keep for my records in case the scroll disappears again.
okay, not a problem. But thankfully, during the course of the second watch, nothing happens.
Yay!
Which leads us to watch number 3, the Squall and Galen show. All right, just
I'll assist Galen and let him roll with advantage.
well, you would be watching 2 separate places,
Oh,
so you need to take individual perception checks.
got you. Okay.
Unless you guys want to just kind of sit in the middle of the room, like back to back, just be like, all right, it's up to you, but because you have 2 open ways into the room, that is your best bet. But you can do whatever you'd like in this situation.
Okay. I say individual.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Squall and Galen. What did you get, Squall?
4.
Nice. On brand.
Mm-hmm.
Galen.
17.
17. Okay. So Galen, you are watching the area leading into the blood pools room, where where one of the eyes was, and thankfully destroyed. Galen, Squall, you're overlooking the puzzle room.
Okay.
The puzzle floor, and again, it is pitch black. It is dark as hell, and no, actually, yeah. In this situation, I would have asked you, Squall, to roll at disadvantage because of the lack of dark vision, but you got a 4, so I don't think it's going to get any better than that. So you're just kind of like peering into the room, trying to let your eyes adjust to but it's just like the only light coming into this room is the blue light from the eyeball currently
Right.
in the entrance where you are, kind of poking into the room. But outside of that, it's really difficult to see. You're having a hard time hearing anything because it's just so echoey. You can kind of like only mostly hear your own heartbeat, like it's that silent. And it's just disconcerting more than anything else. But it's like you feel like you got a pretty good handle on it, but it's just still hard to see shit. Galen, as I said, you're overlooking the blood pool room, and you have better dark vision than most. And you're just kind of scanning the room every now and then. You're just kind of looking back, scanning at your party members. And you're just kind of like waiting and waiting, looking and looking. You don't see anything. But about 2 hours into your watch, you do hear something in the distance. So there's so much echo in this area, it's hard to figure out exactly where it's coming from. And as you kind of like strain to hear exactly what it is, it does sound vaguely reminiscent of the beating of imp wings. But you can't tell exactly where it's coming from.
How far or close can I tell? Do I need an insight check to
No,
figure that out?
no, that was your perception check. It's with your roll, you can definitely hear this, but you can't tell what direction it's coming from, how close it is. It definitely seems far. It doesn't seem like it's like in the next room. That would be that would be a more distinct sound. This one is definitely like you can hear it, but it's far off in the distance, and the echo is making it difficult to kind of pinpoint what direction it's coming from exactly.
I would like to go into the puzzle room and kind of whisper to Squall's ear. I hear more imps. They don't sound close, but I hear them. And I'd like to peer into the other room.
Okay.
And what do I see?
All right. So you peer into the other room. As you do, you also can see that blue light kind of like permeating into the puzzle room from the eyeball in the entrance. You can also hear the sound as well from where you're at, just kind of peering, like just straining and listening. It's a little more distinct. However, it is still somewhat far from where you're at. You're still having a hard time figuring out where it could be coming from. But it's definitely not in that room. Like you would definitely be able to hear with the roll that you had. If it was in the next room, you would know that it was in the next room, but it's not.
Yeah. I would refrain from using any form of light sources for right now until everyone's fully rested. I know you can't see in the dark well, Squall, but as far as I'm aware, doesn't sound like we're in any danger. So just be on guard, though. I'll let you know if I hear them.
Sounds good.
All right. But as your watch comes to a conclusion, nothing happens. You all begin to wake up after your long rest. Anything you'd like to do from this point?
I guess has Galen told us what he heard and from which direction?
I assume it's probably in the rooms we haven't been in. I'd say probably on the other side of the blood room. The side we didn't really explore.
Okay.
But I don't 100% know. I just do know it's probably in some place we haven't explored yet. That's my guess.
The first thing I'd like to do is, can we please destroy that other eyeball?
Not right now. I don't think that would be a good idea. Because then it would lure the imps here. They gotta surprise them, right? Or no?
We already destroyed one eyeball. What's, why,
It's gonna make an alarm.
I don't know about that. I think it actually, it makes us safer.
But when she, and I kind of point to Rowan, when she got, when the eye saw her, then like that giant booming voice or whatever that demon voice was started talking and alerting everything. So yeah.
Unless we really have to, I say we save our spells and ammunition for the enemy and not the eyeballs.
That's how the enemy is seeing us, through the eyeballs.
So if we were to interact with an even greater threat than an eyeball, and you used your spells on it, you understand what I'm implying?
Wait,
Well, here's my suggestion.
wait,
We'll leave the one at the entrance. If we come across another, we'll destroy that one.
what? Why did it react to Rowan? Galen not actually understanding why the alarm went off.
I think it's because I have the portable hole.
It's either that or you're probably the closest to that mummified imp. It's probably that.
That imp tasted terrible.
I'll take
Still
note of
picking pieces of mummy out of my teeth.
Oh,
Ugh.
My point is we should not be wasting our resources on the eyeballs unless we really have to.
Okay. Well, we found Jake. So let's just go through the rest of the rooms then.
All right, let's get a move on.
all right.
Alright.
So I propose that we avoid the room with the letters. I really don't want to be a frog again. I don't like the feeling. Let's go
Oh,
through
come
the
on. I'd like to play some creepy music.
Well, it's safe to say there are 3 entryways that I can only guess that the interior of this, I guess, labyrinth, you can say, is full circle. So we just need to keep pressing forward.
Unless there's more stairs.
Perhaps, but if we can go around the necromancy spells floor room, then safer is for all of us. Shall we get a move on then?
Sure.
Lead the way, by all means.
All right, so you all have you're all at full hit points. You are at full hit dice, and any spell slots that you expended, and skills that required you to take a long rest, you now currently have them. All right, so what is the plan?
I think
we-
I'm
Don't all
sorry.
speak up at once.
No. I started talking at the same time as Poopsie. Jarina, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to ask if we wanted to take a look at the other rooms from the puzzle room.
I think they all interconnect.
Yes. That's what I believe as well, because there were 3 entryways going from left to right and forward. We went into one of the right, so they're probably interconnected. I
Right.
guess, say in shape of a circle.
Yeah, so then we have to go back to the icky big pool of blood room.
Yes, unfortunately. So,
Lead the way.
all right, I'm gonna lead the way. Go on the front.
I'm sticking with Phoebe.
I'll be in
I'm
the
going
back.
behind Phoebe and Jarina.
I'll be in the
I'm
way
gonna take
back.
the
Hold
lead.
on, wait. Hold on. Okay, so Jarina's leading the way.
No, I am.
Phoebe is okay. Who's after Phoebe? Jarina. Okay.
Jarina, and then me.
Sora. Okay.
I'll go after Sora.
Rowan.
I'll bring up the rear.
Okay.
Me too.
All
Me
right.
3.
All right. And Galen. Okay. All right. So, which way are you going, Phoebe? Since you're leading the group.
I am going back through the door where those 2 pools, smaller pools were,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna be taking that left into that big fountain of blood.
So you're gonna go all the way to the opposite doorway on the other side
Yes.
of that large blood pool. Okay. Alrighty. So easily enough.
And I'm gonna have my bow at the ready just in case.
Good to know. Alright. So let's do that. Sora is next. Followed by Rowan. And then Galen, Leah, and Squall. Alrighty, so you all leave the room. Leah, that scroll that you were carrying, what did you do with it?
I put it in my pocket so that I could keep an eye to make sure it didn't disappear again.
Okay. Make a perception check for me. 14. As you left the room, your pocket now feels empty.
Okay. I still have the copy that I wrote down.
Okay. All right. So you all, Phoebe, you leading the way, Maker take the group to the opposite door. As you do, and you begin to peer into the doorway. Initially, what you begin to see is you can actually see a very old, tattered rug on what seems to be a broken cobblestone floor. There is the faintest bit of light coming in into this room, but it seems to be coming from within the room. But it's very, very dim, very, very dim. You do have dark vision, so you are able to see. You're able to see this part.
Okay. I'm going to take a step into the doorway.
Okay, I need everybody to make a stealth check for me, please. All right, Phoebe, what'd you get?
You said stealth?
Stealth, yeah.
Okay. 20, not now.
20. Jarina.
That'll be a 5.
Nice. Also, I'm gonna need you to start rolling certain rolls for Maya, and I will let you know in advance. But in this instance, I'll need you to roll a stealth check for her as well. Sora, what'd you get?
Sora is still kind of bleary-eyed from sleep, is not fully awoken, and trips on her own robes. I got
A what?
a 6.
6. Okay. Rowan?
Nat 20, 21.
Nice. Galen?
23.
Okay. Leah?
17.
Okay. And Squall?
5.
Nice. All right.
DM?
Yep.
Maya rolled an 18 plus 6, so that's a 24
Okay.
for her.
She's the stealthiest.
Okay. So thankfully, although Jarina, Sora, and Squall Squall, sounding like a bag of pots and pans, just clunk, 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 as he's walking, just like fuck. And Sara's just like, yeah, looking over her shoulder for an imp coming at her at any second. And Jarina just not paying attention, just kind of hitting a pebble as she's walking down the steps, walking up the steps to this area, and just kind of like trips and falls. Thankfully, these are, because this group is so large, we're doing group checks. And we're averaging out your stealth. Because damn. Natural ones are a completely different story, but thankfully no one rolled a natural one. But most of you are able to help your less stealthy companions as you make your way around. Phoebe, you said you were going to go in and begin to take a look around?
Yeah.
Okay. So...
Did I fuck up?
All right. So you walk in, you kind of like begin to like start to look around. And as you do, the first thing that you see there seems to be a long table with what seems like very long rotted food. Just kind of like on the table, there's dust. There's a certain amount of cobwebs. Some of the dishes themselves seem to be broken. The cups also. The stool and the table itself, the wood is splintered somewhat as well. Sitting next to that is yet another table, smaller, that seems to have some papers. You can see from where you're standing a skeleton. And you do see what looks like, it looks to be like 3 beds that are just kind of against the wall. Just kind of like, it seems like maybe some kind of possible living situation for a number of different people. And laying in these beds, curled up asleep, are imps. 1 in each bed. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. The light that you can see is actually coming from right behind, on the wall, right behind the long table. And it seems to be one of those ever-burning torches, but is just very, very low. It doesn't, the magic's still working in it, but it's just very, very low.
Okay.
And that's what you see as you enter this room. Immediately south of you, there seems to be another entrance, another opening, but that one is definitely covered in cobwebs, just very thick cobwebs.
Okay. I am going to slowly make my way out of the room, and I'm going to relay to the group what I see.
Okay. I need you to make another stealth check for me, please.
Okie dokie. 24.
24. Okay.
I rolled a net 19.
Okay. You make your way very quietly out of the room. And you begin to tell your companions exactly what you see.
Alright.
Leah, you want to assassinate some imps in their sleep?
Definitely.
Alrighty then.
Can I start making my way in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like to make my way in too.
Okay. I need both Leah and Galen to make stealth checks for me, please.
I'm going with them because there's 3, right, Galen?
Yeah, but you're not the quietest one.
13.
13 for Leah. Galen, what'd you get?
19.
19. Sora, what'd you get?
I got 12.
12. Okay. All right.
I would like to quietly cast Thorn Whip in case there are any more imps.
I need
Can I
you.
do that?
I need you to make a stealth check for me too.
Okay. $20 not net.
Okay. All right. So, Rowan, as some of your companions begin to walk past you, you cast Thorn Whip as quietly as you can, and from sprouting from your hand, you watch as your it looks like a vine begins to grow, and then all of a sudden, these little thorns begin to form on the sides of it, and you now have a Thorn Whip available and ready should you need it.
Cool.
So let's see. So Galen, you make your way into the room. You get to about here. Leah is following directly behind you.
I'm going to stay at the square that is right behind Leah.
Okay. So
One more up, yeah, right there.
So Galen, you make your way in. You're kind of keeping as low and as quiet as you possibly can, and you see exactly what Phoebe described. These 3 beds, these imps kind of curled, almost like in a ball on these beds, unmoving. Leah, you start to make your way quietly into the room. Sora following behind. As you walk in, Leah, your foot catches a hole in the carpet. And as you do catch this hole, it begins to pull the carpet where Sora is behind you, which causes Sora to kind of like fall slightly backwards, and she uses her staff to brace herself from falling. And as she does, instead of it hitting the carpet, it cracks on the stone of the cobblestone, making this loud crack sound that everyone can hear. And Galen, you immediately watch as all of the imps' heads pop up, and they all vanish.
Oh, great.
Can I, as a reaction, cast Fairy Fire?
Well, as of right now, I need everybody to roll initiative, and then we can go from there. All right, so everybody rolls initiative, and I'm gonna get the fight music on. So hold those numbers, folks, while I set up our battle. Alrighty, so where are we? That's not the encounter. This is the encounter. Excellent. Jarina, what did you get?
Oh, goodness.
Lauren. Oh, here she comes.
4.
4. Galen, what'd you get?
I got a nat 20, but altogether is 25.
Okay. Leah, what'd you get?
19.
19. Nice. Squall.
I got an 11.
Okay, not bad.
I'm
Rowan.
gonna stop channeling you, Squall.
10.
10. Phoebe.
17.
17. Sora.
11.
11.
11?
Okay.
The thing on D&D Beyond says 19.
Ah. I guess I read it wrong.
Was it
So
cocked?
19.
You might have read someone else's.
Yeah, you were reading Rowan's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a 19.
Okay. 19. Alrighty. So with that... First up is Galen.
So this is the first time I'm actually casting the spell. It's called, I think it's pronounced Fairy Fire.
Fairy Fire, yeah.
There we go. I said it weirdly. I can't common.
Common motherfucker, do you speak it?
Okay.
So, it's been a bit, so I'm gonna hit. Hold on, so I'll cast it.
Alright, so where specifically are you casting it?
I am casting it in the cluster of beds, so it's a 20-foot radius, so wherever it gets, like, where I last saw them.
Alright,
Like,
well, yeah, it's a 20-foot cube. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so...
How do I use magic in D&D Beyond? Do I have to roll anything?
Not for this spell.
Okay.
You just have to when you cast this spell, being that it's actually racial, it's just an innate ability that you can do.
Okay.
It's like for you, it's as simple as breathing is casting the spell. And let's see, so yeah, 60-foot range, 20-foot cube. It lasts for minutes. You'll be concentrating on that spell. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in a light of your choice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined. If it fails a dexterity save for the duration. Any attack roll. Okay. So, as you cast Fairy Fire, you start to see what looks like, it almost looks like fireflies. But these fireflies are without shape and are this like very purplish light. And as you cast it in the area where you last saw them, Leo, Sora, and Galen, you actually do begin to see the invisible imps now outlined. By this light.
That's awesome, Galen.
They do seem still invisible, but these purplish motes are adhering to their bodies, showing their outline. And they are actually not in the same position that they were. as you cast it. And they definitely seem a hell of a lot closer than they were. They are not on the beds anymore. So Galen, that is your action. They no longer benefit from being invisible at this point.
As long as they're in that cube.
Yeah, the minute they fly out of that cube, which this one right here, if it gets any closer, will absolutely fly out of the cube. Will definitely disappear. But you know that, being, as the person who cast Fairy Fire.
Yeah. So I'm going to use my bonus action and use the key-fueled attacks.
You can only use them if your action was to attack first.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I will double check. But I believe that is how Fury of Blows works.
This isn't Fury of Blows. This is in specials. It's all the way in the bottom of others. It's a key-fueled attack. I spend 1 key point or more on a weapon, on a monk weapon.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just double check. New skills. We're all learning new skills here.
It's an other.
It's an other. Okay.
Should be right under key points.
Yeah, if you spend 1 key point or more as part of your action on your turn, as part of your action. So
that means
your action was to cast Fairy Fire. So you wouldn't be able to. So for example, if you used a key point during your action for something else, like say for example, you decided, okay, my action is Step of the Wind, so I'm using a key point to cast Step of the Wind, then you could have made an unarmed attack as a bonus action.
Okay. All right. In that case, I will use my offhand and throw a dart.
Offhand attack. Yeah, go for it.
So that's just throwing a dart without any proficiency bonuses?
Right.
Okay. That would be 15.
15 does hit.
All right, give me a second. Oh, that's weird. It happened again. 1 and 3. Like, both the numbers 1 and 3 are glowing.
What is the actual...
The actual thing is 6. Like, I did 6 damage, but
Okay.
the dice kind of got cocked.
Yeah, well,
know.
if it gives you an official number, then that's the number we go with.
All right, so 6 damage then.
Okay, 6 damage. And that's with a dart, right?
Yep.
And that's the one closest to you?
Yes, the one that's almost out of the fairy
Gotcha.
fire.
All right, yeah. So you chuck your dart at it. You watch as the dart does impale it in the chest. It just kind of lands. It looks very surprised and shocked that you saw it. But just raises back up in the air. And is just now focused on you, Galen. All right. So that is your turn. Do you want to move? You do have movement still.
You know what? So what's behind Leah, real quick? Because I've
Sora.
partially seen. No. South. What's south to me?
Oh, it looks like a bookcase.
Is there No, I meant like square-wise. Is there like 10 feet? Is that 10 feet away, or is that like 5 feet away?
Oh, it's occupied. You wouldn't be able to stand on it unless you wanted to stand on the bookcase.
Okay. All right. I'll go. I'll stay where I am.
Alrighty. So you stay where you're at. Next up is Leah. Sora, you are after Leah.
I'd like to take a step forward and go at the one that was engaged with Galen with my rapier.
Okay. So you do not have sneak attack, but you definitely can attack now if you wish.
It's not giving me a number. It's cocked in the corner.
You guys in technology, I don't know what's going on. Like, come on. Really?
Real nice, it's an 18.
Well, actually, it says 11.
It says 11.
Yeah.
It says 11.
Yeah, it's giving me 11.
Yeah.
All right. So, 11 does not hit. So, unfortunately, as you approach and it sees you coming at it, it dodges out of the way. Again, these tiny things are very fast. Alrighty. Do you wanna? You still have bonus action and movement.
What would I be able to do with the bonus action?
You can disengage. You can dash. You can hide.
I'll disengage.
Okay. And you're gonna move back. How many squares?
Just one.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me move back too, so that I
Okay.
get out of everybody's way.
Okay. So you disengage. You run back. It cannot take an attack of opportunity against you. Alrighty. Sora, you are next, followed by Phoebe.
All right, I am going to use magic missile. 1 dart for that first imp that Galen hit, and then 2 for the center one.
Okay. So they automatically hit. So I just need the damage on the first dart, and then the other 2.
Um, 4, 3, that's 7.
Okay. No. Since you're separating the darts,
Right.
I need you to give me separate damage.
Okay.
So each dart, you're gonna have to roll damage for.
I hit 1 for 3, and the other one I hit. That's 4 and 2 for 6.
So the first one you hit for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the other one you hit for 6. Okay. All right. So as your first dart goes for the one that Galen hit, and the dart actually tears through its wing, and you hear, and it just kind of lands on the ground, and is still moving. Tries to flap its wings, but cannot get up. Cannot get the wings to kind of to raise it off the ground. And it's just like, but it is still up. The second one that you hit took the brunt of the darts full force. You did hear a crack, and you can actually see one of its legs just limply dangling as it just, but still flying up in the air, just like. You have some movement if you'd like to take it.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think I'm gonna go back by Leah.
Okay, so you move 1 back. No problem. Alrighty, so next up is Phoebe. Squall, you are on deck.
I am going to go into the sleeping quarters again.
Okay.
I'm going to take aim with my arrow at the imp furthest away, which would be by the skeleton.
Okay. Roll for attack.
Okey-doke. $16.
16 does hit. Roll for damage.
9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage. You release your arrow, and you watch as the arrow does shoot past, like through a part of its midsection and through its wing. It screeches in pain, but it's still flying aloft. Blood kind of, dark blood dripping off of it, and it's like, and it's just kind of looking at you, very, very angry. Still up.
Okay.
All right. You still have some movement.
I am going to stay where I am.
Okay. All right. Next up is Squall.
Okay, I'm the furthest away from this encounter. So I'm going to use my movement to get up to the door.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just enough.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, it gets you right to the doorway.
I'm going to manifest my echo directly in front of that imp on the left side of the table.
You probably need visual,
There's
a line of sight, which you don't currently have.
5, 10, okay, so then I'm gonna, so then 5, 10, 15 feet in front of me, which would be between Galen. So I should be, I can manifest it directly through the doorway, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'll do that. And then my echo can also move 1 square up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will attack with my echo.
Okay, go for it.
19
19 definitely hits.
for 7 damage.
Okay. As your echo comes running up on this, as it just pops into existence in between Galen and Phoebe, it turns and it sees this imp trying to crawl away, unable to fly, and it runs up, takes the sword, reverses it, and right into its back, and it's no longer moving. It just pulls it out, flips the sword back into its into the right position, and just prepares.
Nice.
Okay, so.
And that's the end of my turn.
Alrighty. It is now the imp's turn. Let's see. This one is pretty pissed. They're getting shot. But as the room begins to fill, yeah. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. You watch as the imp seems to be invisible, but the fairy fire is just clinging to his form, making him visible again. And it's just like, it lands on the table, and you watch as the shape changes into something much smaller, almost the size of a rat. And then it is going to run. 10, 15. And you no longer have visual on it. The third imp, seeing that, flies over here. It's going to do something similar. Again, this one you watch as its shape seems to shrink a little smaller. And then it goes underneath the bed, and you all lose visual on it.
Can Lucy track him?
I don't know. All right, so that's their turn. Rowan, is now your turn. What'd you like to do?
Well, I don't want to be in the way, but I do want to see what's going on. So I go over to the doorway on the opposite side of Squall, and I say, "What's going on?"
Okay.
The imps turned to rats and ran away.
Thanks, Squall.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Squall didn't see anything. So, alrighty. Is that it? Is that all you'd like to do, or?
Can I hold my action if an imp tries to get out this door?
Sure.
I will hold my thorn whipping action.
Gotcha. All right, Jarina, it's your turn.
Okay. Since did I hear Galen respond to Rowan about,
Yeah.
the imps?
Oh,
Okay. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to hold a Bane. No, I can only hold a melee action, right?
No, you can hold a spell.
I'm gonna hold Bane just in case I see an imp.
Okay.
As well.
But just be aware that when you do hold a spell, if your reaction doesn't go off, you use that spell slot.
Understood.
Because you're casting the spell and then holding it.
Understood.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, so that is your turn. Holding that. Back to the top of the round. Galen, it's your turn. Oh, and by the way, Galen, you are, just for your edification, you are currently concentrating on the Fairy Fire spell. So I'm just going to indicate that by the purplish energy around you. So what would you like to do?
Leah, Lucy can track rats, right?
I can ask her if she wants to do it.
Okay. I'm gonna see where they went. So I'm gonna go over. Which bed did they go to?
You initially saw it run under this bed. That's the only one that you saw. You're not sure where the other one went.
Okay. And in that case, is there a broom nearby?
Make a perception check.
All right. $11.
11. You look around and you see a pile of garbage that possibly has a broken piece of broom in it, but not a solid broom. Given the layers of dust, you would probably suspect that this place hasn't used a broom in a long time.
Fair assessment. All right. Well, I am gonna go over to the bed. I'm gonna crouch, and I'm going to use my quarterstaff to kind of see if I can force it out. I guess force the imp out or the ray.
Okay. You look under the bed, and as you look under the bed, you can see what looks like fairy fire covering a small spider. And as you see it like stops moving. But it's clearly just covered in fairy fire.
All right, I'm going to use. You know what? I'm going to use unarmed strike to kind of just smack the spider.
Okay, it does have half cover because it's under the bed, and you're trying to get at it in a very, very small space. So roll for attack, and I will let you know if you're actually successful or not.
Okay. Uh, 13.
13. That. A second. That unfortunately misses because of the half cover. So you just kind of swing, and it just kind of skitters off to the side, and you actually scrape your knuckles underneath the actual broken, jagged wood frame underneath.
All right. With the awkward angle that this is, I guess flipping the bed would not really be like an act. It wouldn't be. It would be an action, not a bonus action.
Yeah, that would be an action. You just took one. So
All right.
So what would you like to do, Galen? Come on, time's a ticking.
All right. I guess I'll do what I was originally gonna do. I'm going to force it out of the bed by using my quarterstaff and like a madman, just like shaking it around. I'll use my offhand with that.
Okay, so roll for attack.
That's a 25.
Yeah, that hits. So roll for damage.
Uh, 9 damage.
9 damage. So as you're just kind of like, get up, and you, and as you do, all of a sudden, the fairy fire spider, the body grows, but is still unmoving, and it seems like you've killed it.
Awesome. Now we just have the other one to worry about.
As my final act, I will say, look under the beds.
That would be another action for you to actually like investigate or make a. So you can prepare to do that. Yeah, you can prepare to do that next time.
I tell the group, look under the beds.
Okay. Easy enough. Leah, you are up next. Sora, you're after Leah.
So I'm gonna take Galen's advice, come over and look under the bed, swiping with my rapier.
Okay. Which bed are you gonna look under?
I guess the middle one.
All right. So you go over. That's 25 feet right there. Make a perception check for me, please.
It rolled a 12, so it's an 18.
18?
So it
Okay.
shows up here.
Yeah, so you're actually in an interesting position. So you can actually see under both beds. And you begin to kind of look, and you don't, other than some like rocks and debris, and some splintered wood from the frames of these beds, you don't see anything covered in fairy fire. But out of the corner of your eye, to your right, just for a moment, you saw a glimmer of that purplish light. But you're not entirely sure exactly where it is. You saw it out of the corner of your eye somewhere over here.
Okay. I'm gonna go and stab in that general direction.
All right. Well, you have 5 more feet of movement, which gets you to this very, very old-looking skeleton at your feet.
Okay.
You don't currently see anything to attack. So you've only used your movement so far.
Okay, since I don't have an action, I haven't done an action yet, can I hold it until something appears?
Sure. So you're going to hold it to attack something that appears in your melee range.
Exactly, with the rapier.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. No problem. Sora, you are next, followed by Phoebe.
Okay, so I want to go in front of that small table.
Okay. 10, 15, 20. Yep.
And check and see if I can see anything.
Make a perception check for me, please.
16.
16. You start looking around, and all of the moats are still in the air. And as you look down, you, Galen, and Leah are covered in these moats now as well. And you're kind of looking around, and very, very quickly, you begin to see somewhere over here, not entirely sure where, but somewhere here, you saw something purple skitter on the ground, but then disappeared.
Okay, I am going to use my acid splash in that area. So like I'm gonna like attempt to hit like the tables and all that stuff.
Is acid splash a ranged attack?
It's hold on.
Do you have to attack to hit?
Yeah, it's an action.
Oh no! I know it's an action.
No, I know what you mean. All it says is 1d6 damage, 1 action, 60 feet, instantaneous.
Okay, yeah. So it's not a roll to hit. Okay. So you're just doing it in an area, in that area.
In that one square right there.
Okay.
Where those 2 small tables are, like kind of southeast of Leah.
Sure. Let's see. Okay. All right. So this is interesting because you don't actually have a target. If you did, the target would have to make a dexterity saving throw. So yeah, go ahead and cast it. As you cast it, because you don't see it, it's going to have advantage on the dexterity saving throw. What is the DC for this? What's your DC? What's the?
12.
12. All right, so it has to make a dexterity saving throw of 12. And that's a natural 20.
Damn.
So
Sorry, I missed.
So no, you didn't miss. You hit exactly what you aimed
okay,
for, which was the tables and the things around it. And as the acid begins to dissolve some of the wood away, you feel like you might have done something good. You're not sure. It might have helped.
Well, it's one because you made the dexterity saving throw, so it takes half, right?
No, not for acid splash because it's a cantrip. If it misses,
Okay.
it does no damage. So that's
Okay,
just because it's a cantrip. Alrighty, so you still have, let's see, 10, 15, 20. You still have five more feet of movement if you like to take it, or you can stay where you're at.
I'm gonna stay where I am.
Alrighty. So just to kind of, we're just gonna say, this is where the acid is, and it's burning through the tables. Alrighty. So next up is Phoebe. Squall, you're on deck.
I didn't mean to knock over my phone. I'm going to hold my action because I don't see anything at the moment.
Okay. And it's
my bow at the ready.
gotcha. Okay. All right. Are you gonna stay where you're at?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I am at.
Okay. Squall, you are up.
Still no eyes on the other imp that disappeared, right? Or
Not yet. You're not even in the room yet.
right. Yeah, I'm gonna come in the room and just I'm gonna jump on top of the table.
Okay. Make me acrobatics or athletics. Your choice.
This one. 13.
13. Okay, yeah, easy enough. There's a small little footstool that you just kind of just jump on and just kind of jump on the table. You're now on the table. You hear it creak and groan under your weight. It's very old, splintered as well. So you're not sure how long you have before it breaks under your weight, but for now it's holding.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my action. Swinging the sword, and I'll be done.
Okay. Do you want to do anything with your echo?
No.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So it is the imp's turn. Galen, Leah, and Sarah, make me perception checks, please.
Yes, Palo Santo works.
Sarah, what'd you get?
I got a 19.
Okay. Galen?
I don't know what's going on. I think the tech spirits are happy or pleased. I got a perception of a nat 20, and that's all 25.
Okay. Leah?
12.
12. Okay. Sarah, Galen, you see it first, but Leah, you do see it as well. You watch as a small fairy-fired creature darts this way and then darts under a table over here. All right. Next up is Rowan. What would you like to do, Rowan?
I would like to stay where I am and
Okay.
continue to hold my action.
Okay, fair enough. Alrighty. Jarina, it is now your turn.
Question. Since last turn I was holding my Bane action, it's used up already,
Yes.
right? I can't continue to hold it. It's just done.
Yeah,
gone.
it's you can switch it to another spell of equal value if or lesser if you'd like. But it would still take up it has to be of that level spell or higher.
And I wouldn't use up another spell slot.
No, you've already expended a spell slot to cast a spell. You can change it if you like, but the spell slot will be used.
Okay. Then I am going to switch it to technically a cantrip is less than a level 1.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna switch it to command. If I see a rat or an imp pass by, I'm gonna command it to halt.
Okay. No. So, all right. I might have not said it very clearly. So, as your reaction, you're holding the spell. The spell slot is already cast. So, if you like, before your turn comes around, and you see that it's not going anywhere, you could switch the spell to say a beneficial spell for yourself, but not actually keep holding it.
Gotcha.
Am I being clear? I hope I'm not being unclear.
I think I understand. All right, then I'm just going to I'm gonna go into the room, but I'm going to just be the square right underneath Phoebe.
Okay. No problem.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. And anything else?
And I am going to just hold an attack action with my Staff of Flowers, in case I see a rat or an imp.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, next up, top of the round, Galen, it is now your turn.
Can you remind me again where I saw a rat scatter?
Right over here. Right over here.
Okay. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna look in that general direction.
Are you moving over there? You want to move over there? Okay.
Over there, and I'm going to look with my eyes.
Okay, you see under the table, very clearly defined, what looks like a small creature covered in fairy fire. It's underneath the table.
Is it partially covered, like in...
It is.
Alright, I'm gonna do my thing again with the quarterstaff.
Okay, it has half cover, so go ahead and roll to attack.
I'm gonna be using one-handed. I'm not gonna be using two because of the awkward angle it's in.
Sure.
$16.
16 does hit still. Roll for damage.
$7.
Okay. Yeah, same thing. As you're like, come on, splat. And you just hear the crunch, and then that's still unmoving. And at the moment, seems that you have dealt with the imps in this room.
I am the Imp Slayer.
You are the Imp Slayer.
Splat.
And that is actually where a perfect time for us to take our break. So thank you, everybody. Stick with us as we return from our break and see what happens next in this secret laboratory of Zylrei the Scary. Ooh, scary. Um, so see you guys in a bit. And we're back. So, you all made your way into a room that had some sleeping imps in it. You mightily defeated them in the lair. What would you all like to do now?
I want to look at the papers on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to look around. I want to look in the bookshelves and stuff.
All right. Anybody who cares to, please make an investigation check for me. What is it? Yes, Jarina?
Do the skeletons have like clothing or bags on them?
Are you inspecting them?
I would like to.
Okay, make an investigation check for me as well.
I'm gonna get my dagger back. Does that require an investigation?
No, you just pick up your dagger. It's fine.
I would like to grab my arrows.
You only shot the one arrow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You do go to pick it up, and it has broken against the far end of the wall.
Well, balls. Okay.
These are stone walls. Just, you know. All right. So, Jarina, what did you get for your investigation check?
For the skeletons, I got a 13.
All right, for the skellies. Rowan, what did you get?
I got an 11.
Okay. Sara.
13.
13. Is anybody else making an investigation? Leah, what did you get?
16.
16. Anyone else? Nope. Phoebe?
15.
15. Okay. Okay. So, Jarina, you go to inspect the skeletons. They, much like the ones in the blood pool rooms, long dead. These, actually, their clothing is very different than the other rooms. These seem to be, while tattered, and there's holes and they're ripped in various places. These skeletons seem to be wearing long robes, specifically all red, with black trim. But they are pretty like very moth-eaten, ratty, ripped, torn. But you could tell at some point in time that these robes were very well made. There doesn't seem to be any belongings or anything that you can see other than that. And the bones themselves just long. They're just bleached white. Well, not bleached, but they're like ivory color, completely bereft of any meat or muscle, just long gone. Rowan and Sora, as you begin to inspect the table of the papers, you can see just lots of, again, much like the bedroom, unfortunately, of the last area that you were in, a lot of garbage and feces and just like, it's just everything here seems to be torn up and ruined. There is a very disgusting smell, ammonia smell as well in this room, and you can also see that the beds are similarly adorned, if you will, with the foulness of these imps. Sorry, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was inspecting the bookshelves.
Okay. You look at the bookshelves, again, the same thing. The books, if they're not already like dust and torn to pieces, they're just, as you go to grab them, they literally just disintegrate in your hand. Leah and Phoebe, during your investigation check, you do find, Phoebe, you start looking around, and you do find littered amongst the dirt and nastiness of this room. You find, I will say, Phoebe, you find a couple of coins. There are like some coins that are scattered around, just between some of the carpeting, underneath the long table that Squall is still standing on. You do find about 3 pieces of gold, 5 pieces of silver, and 5 pieces of copper. But Leah, as you are kind of like helping Phoebe and kind of pointing out like all the locations that you're seeing some of these coins, you look over where the ever-lit torch is, and it's very, very low. And you're just kind of like wondering, why is this torch so low? And you can see next to this torch on the stone wall that where all of the stones on this wall seem to be either covered in cobwebs or dirt or some kind of foulness. There's this one stone that is right next to the torch, and it's small. It's not large. All of the stones on this wall are various sizes, but this one's kind of small. But you notice that it doesn't seem to be touched by any of the dirt, any of the foulness. It actually seems like the stone itself looks to be clean.
I'd like to check that surrounding area for traps around the torch because it looks like it might open.
Okay. Make another investigation check for me, please. Six. Oh, you don't see any traps. Seems to be fine.
Okay, I'm gonna try to.
Okay. You go over to, you're checking around the stone, you don't see any traps, and you just kind of put your hand on the stone and slightly depress it. And as you do, it very easily moves under the pressure of your hand. And as it moves, you hear a click. And as you hear that click, right underneath the torch, you watch as a number of stones, similar to the rest of the stones on the wall, dirty and cobweb covered, actually seem to come loose and just open up, like just open forward. And you realize that this is a false opening that had stones covered on it to conceal it. And as it opens, you can see that it is on hinges, and the stones are actually seem to be attached to some kind of wood plank. And as it opens up, you see two sacks, small pouches, sitting in this depressed opening that is now exposed.
Ooh, a secret passage.
I'd like to look at the 2 sacks, make sure they're not trapped, and then put them in my bag.
Okay. Well, you already rolled an investigation check for the area, so you feel like it's not trapped. So you begin to you reach in, and you take the sacks out. Do you look inside?
I'm gonna feel them a little bit, see if they feel like they have gold or stuff inside.
Okay. So you kind of like squeeze and hold one of the pouches. Definitely feels like, some kind of metallic small pieces, possibly coin. The other one feels like rocks.
I'm gonna look in that bag.
The one with the rocks?
Yes.
Okay. You open up the pouch and you're not sure because it's really difficult to see exactly what it is. And you go reach in and you pull out the first rock. And it's not a rock, it's a diamond.
I would
And
like to put that little satchel right in my bag, please.
okay. Are you doing this so no one else sees?
Yes.
All right, I need you to make a sleight of hand check, please.
This better be a good roll. 11.
11. Phoebe has been helping you around, so she's kind of like next to you. So Phoebe, I need you to make a perception check for me.
Gotcha. 17.
17. Yeah, you totally saw Leah just kind of like palm that sack and just kind of put it in her pocket, in her own pouch.
I do hope you're going to get that to us if we ever need it for a spell.
We'll worry about that later. Let's try to survive this.
Right then.
Okay. What do you do with the other pouch?
I'm just going to put it in my bag.
Okay. You just watch as she puts that in her bag. There's nothing else inside the open compartment.
Does there seem to be like any other compartments behind it? Nothing at all?
No, you feel like that one thing was for specifically for this, and you've gotten everything that you can be got out of this area.
Okay.
All right. All right. So what's next, guys?
Shall we burn the cobwebs around the doorway?
Yes, we should head into the next room.
All right. So who's taking point on that?
I'll take point. I'll grab one of the everlasting torches and start burning the cobwebs.
The ever burning torches are not actually fire. They're a magical light source, and they also seem to be bolted to the actual stone walls. You can try to take them off if you like.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Who has a torch?
I think we all have one in one of our kits.
Yeah. Just 1 second. I hand Phoebe a torch.
Okay.
Alright, so I take the torch and I start burning the cobwebs in the doorway.
Okay. Yeah, without issue, over the course of the next 20 minutes, you are able to burn away the cobwebs from the door.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, we will just switch spots because you are there. And you now get a pretty good look at the room in here, as it also does seem to have a torch burning in here. And you see a pretty interesting sight before you. You see what looks like a large cauldron not in the direct center of this room, but almost. There are 3 skeletons in this room as well. And there is a table to the far right of your left of this room, which has what looks like a number of various long rusted and broken cleavers and knives, forks, various tools of that nature. But if you want to see more, you'd have to get a little further inside.
Alright, I hand the torch back to Sora. I have my bow at the ready, and I start slowly making my way into the room.
Okay. You make your way into the room. And yeah, you do get a closer view. And can see some rotted, what looks like meats on another table. Looking inside the cauldron, it is empty. There does seem to be some rotted something at the bottom of it. But outside of that, nothing else. The interesting thing about the skeletons in this room is they have no clothes on, unlike the others.
You found the kitchen, huh?
Seems like it.
And on
What's
the
the orgy room?
Would I have an inkling as to if they were dragon food?
would you like to go in the room and inspect a little more?
Yeah.
I have a question. What species are the corpses from what I can see, despite the decomposition?
Okay. I will say for you, Phoebe, I need you to make a medicine check. And Sarah, as you come in, I also need you to make a medicine check.
I know nothing.
What'd you get, Sarah?
A 5.
Okay. Yeah, you're unsure about anything. Like this is probably a kitchen. But you know, maybe these people like over, you know, like they overate and died from overeating. You don't know. They got too big for their clothes and they just kind of stripped them off and sure. Phoebe, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
14. 2 of the skeletons are elves, and 1 seems to be human. And there are definite signs of what one would probably say divots in the bones, which would be indicative of some kind of sharp tool or object, not just cutting through meat, but getting to the bone.
So, you're right.
So-
It was the kitchen.
So either the imps ate them alive, or they start cannibalizing each other.
Sounds like one hell of a party.
Good lord.
Okay. You do see a doorway leading to what you would expect is the puzzle floor, but there is yet another entrance open. Some cobwebs hanging from it, but not as thick as the previous ones, into what seems to be another room.
I would like to search the kitchen nonetheless. I don't want to leave no stone unturned.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me, please. What is everybody else doing while Phoebe is doing this?
I want to investigate the sharp implements on the table.
Okie doke. You make your way into the kitchen area, what you suspect to be. Make an investigation check for me. Anyone else?
I would like to look around the room to look for hidden doors or anything that it might be useful.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me specifically for that. Squall, are you still standing on the table?
Actually, I'm gonna make my way into that room that they're in,
Mm-hmm.
and poke the skeletons with my sword.
Okay. As Sora and Phoebe are just kind of standing, crouched over the, you're just like, "Ugh. They don't seem to move or react when poked by your sword.
I'm gonna further make my way to the bottom of the room and start peering through the next doorway.
Okay. Make a perception check for me at disadvantage.
I also would like
Don't
to
go
look.
up ahead without us.
What are you doing, Galen?
I just want to be like right behind Squall and just look ahead because I'm
Okay.
assuming it's a dark room as well.
It is, but unfortunately, you won't be able to. Oh yeah, you can. You can make it. You can be right behind him, right there. Okay.
13.
13. Okay. You kind of peer into the room, and while it's difficult to make out, you can see some shapes that seem to be possibly like crates and barrels, giving you the impression that it's possibly like where the storage area was for this place. And the smell in here is horrible. It is just rotted something. Just and most of the crates and barrels seem to be broken, destroyed, holes in them. But it is just decay and rot and just disgusting smells. But that's what you could make out.
I would like to enter the room.
Okay, before you do that, Leah, what did you get for your investigation check?
17.
17. Okay.
I did roll for investigation as well.
Yeah, I am aware. I'm getting to you. Hold on.
I thought you forgot.
I got 7 people that I gotta get to. I am one person. Who's Fraba? Relax.
Maybe you should have Sprava because I'm not the one that's getting so hyped up.
Somebody's poking the DM.
Wait a minute. I'll be right back.
You better not do nothing. All right. So Lee, you got a 17. So as you are just looking around, investigating, checking the room, unlike the other room, you don't unfortunately see anything, secret, stones, and you are now specifically looking, kind of touching the all of the walls, trying to find something. But unfortunately, there's nothing in this room. You do get a very creepy feeling, a creepy vibe from this room, especially again since the skeletons in this room are completely disrobed in sans clothes. Rowan, what'd you get for your investigation check?
I got a 4. I become transfixed on Leah, feeling up the walls.
Yeah. But before you actually like are so enthralled with watching her just kind of like feel the walls up, you do find again it's just like rusted butcher knives and other kind of what seems like butcher materials, like butcher's tools, but very rotted, very rusted. The wood pieces of them are rotted away. The blades themselves are either bent, rusted, or just completely falling apart. And seems to you like, this is kitchen stuff. But that's what you do see. Let's see. Phoebe, what did you get for your investigation check?
I got 15.
15. And you were specifically trying to find what again?
Well, I was just looking along the tables.
Okay.
See if there are any compartments, drawers, anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
You do go to the table immediately to the right of Rowan. You do find again some long rotted meats. you search along the bottom to see if you do find any anything hidden, any drawers or anything. There is a drawer underneath this table, and you do kind of pull it open. And as you do, you see this very wicked hooked blade, very rusted, very old. The handle itself seems to be like a carved. At one point, was a very intricately carved, what looked like dragon, like a hand, like the claw of a dragon, actually holding this hooked blade. But it has since the wood itself has like begun to rot and splinter. The paint that was used on it is faded and chipped. But it's very out of place for this area, maybe. But it's like a hooked blade, and both sides of the blade are sharp. One side is very slick. Well, at one point was very like a very thin edged blade. The other side of it has jagged points.
I grab it and I go to put it in my bag.
Okay.
Something's just telling me to take it.
Okay. Yeah. So just put in your inventory, old hooked blade. All right. Jarina, are you doing anything during this time?
I am going to come into the room with everybody and just keep an eye out to try to stay as alert. I'm a little distracted today.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Yeah, I'm a little distracted with a 9.
Okay. No worries. But all right, so Galen, you make your way into the room that Squall is looking into. And yeah, you are now in the middle of this very rancid smell. Just terrible. It's decay, rot, and as you actually look in the corner over here, not only do you see broken crates and broken barrels, all empty, and if they're not empty, the things inside them growing molds and fungus of various sizes and ages. In that corner over there, you see a pile of imp bodies, some older, some newer, just seem to be torn apart and shredded. Just kind of like, and it just looked like they're just kind of piled in that corner. There are about 20 of them.
He's gonna take some like rags or something and like cover his face because of the smell, and he is going to investigate this room, see if there's like any papers or something to kind of explain what this is.
Make an investigation check for me.
Oh, seems like my luck's running out. 4.
4. Yeah, you just the smell, even with the rag over your mouth, and you trying to make your way and investigating with just one hand in the dark, even with your dark vision. Dark vision only allows you to see in blacks and grays. So you're still kind of like, it's difficult at best, but you make your way throughout the room. You even kind of turn over some of the imp corpses to see if maybe they're lying on top of something, but you really don't find anything of importance in here. It just looks like this room was used for storage. The imps in the corner is weird, but outside of that, you don't find anything.
How do they look dead? Do they all look like they died similarly, or do they all...
They all look torn apart in various ways. Their bodies are intact, but they seem ripped up and shredded.
Okay then. Well, he's going to leave the room and tell everybody, hey, There's really nothing of value in there unless you value rot and trash.
I'm gonna make my way into the room and take a look around.
Are you making an investigation check as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's going to be the only other investigation of this room.
I
So,
leave the room.
okay, so you leave the room. So go ahead, Sarah, make an investigation check at disadvantage, because you do not have dark vision.
Actually, I thought I did.
Do you? I could be wrong.
I do.
You do. Okay, so it will just be a straight roll.
All right, I rolled a 10.
10. Yeah, you pretty much find the same thing that Galen did. Just crates and barrels, broken, empty. The ones that aren't empty are filled with just all of this fungus and mold. The imp bodies in the corner, very super weird.
Yeah, I wanted to look at that closer.
Yeah, you find the same thing. They're just kind of ripped up, shredded. The bodies are mostly intact, but their bodies are just kind of like ripped open and ripped apart, and just kind of piled up in a corner over here. The ones on top seem newer and fresher than the ones on the bottom.
Okay. I let the group know.
Okay.
Yuck.
All right. You all feel pretty much that that this is, you've explored the extent of this area. Doesn't seem to be any other areas that you need to explore. So, based on that, what would you like to do?
I suggest that we go back the way we came, because we have only one marker for the puzzle room.
We should wrap up Jake and put his body in the portable hole.
Can't we just teleport?
But do we have?
He's falling apart.
Yeah, we do. We have that statue. That if all of us are tap on it.
We should really get rid of that eye before we leave.
I think so too.
Screw it. Let's get ourselves into trouble.
So let's go
Didn't
back
it
the way we
electrocute
came.
you, Squall?
Ribbit?
Because again, we only have one path for the puzzle room.
I agree. We should go back the way we came.
Yeah, let's just go through the other rooms.
Mhm.
We should also let Leopold know that he should cover or drain these blood pools because they seem to be portals for the imps.
We'll let him know. So
Okay.
Let's get on with it.
So you begin to make your way around back the way you came, till you are in what seems to be the laboratory or workshop area that you originally came into. And you are going to make your way back through the puzzle floor to the entrance area, yes?
I want to be the last person so that I can collect the gold coins that we put down.
Okay.
I
yeah,
mean, the copper
Aren't they
pieces,
copper?
not gold.
Yeah.
It would be
Okay.
crazy.
And we're not going through the puzzle room. We're going around the puzzle room.
We
there.
have to go through the puzzle room.
Yeah, because that was the way we came in.
Jarina, why don't you keep the copper coins there so the wizard and his buddies know that that's a path.
Well, anybody's just going to come in here and probably take them anyway, so I'd rather just pick them up and tell
It's
him
just-
which ones.
It's
Yeah,
just
he's
copper.
smart
Okay,
enough.
fair
Look
enough.
at that golem he made.
And
All
I
right.
wrote it all down, so Yeah.
So why don't you? Well, the copper pieces are still there, so no. So let's head back. Use the same path from the puzzle room.
Okay. So I need a marching order for who's going first and so forth and so on.
I will go first.
All right. So Phoebe is going first. Who's next? Anyone?
I'll go with. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I'll go next. You want to go get behind me, Sora?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll continue to bring up the rear.
Okay.
Me too.
All right.
I'll be in the back too. Probably with Draenars.
And Jarina, you're still going to be last?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as you are going back the way you originally came, and you had marked those specific areas, we do not have to go through the whole thing that we went through last time, because easy enough, you will be able to make your way through the marked areas. I'm not gonna, you know how to get your way through easily enough. So Phoebe is first. So Phoebe, you make your way through the puzzle room into the area where the eye is now currently staring straight at you as movement seems to be making it.
I would also like to say, as we're making our way back into the other rooms, where the two smaller pools of blood were, I collect my other two or three arrows.
Okay.
So.
No problem. Oh, very quickly, actually, before you left, I need everybody, while you are in that workshop room, to make a perception check for me, please. All right. Phoebe.
15.
15. Rowan.
I'm sorry, what were we rolling for?
Perception.
17.
Okay. Sora.
11.
Galen.
22.
22. Leah.
15 plus 6 is 21.
21. Squall.
8.
8. Jarina.
16.
16. Okay. Everyone but Squall. Because Squall, you are absolutely dead focused on let's get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really not paying attention, but the rest of you, as at various times as you are entering this room, getting ready to move into the puzzle floor area, and Leah, you actually see it first as you are somewhat looking for it already. There is something, like a parchment or a scroll, just sitting on one of the previously empty tables.
I'm going to walk over to it and explain to the rest of the group what I discovered about the piece of parchment.
Make sure it's not a trap.
I picked it up, I put it in my pocket. There are some letters written on it. It's probably another puzzle to decipher. But when we left the room, the piece of parchment appeared back on the desk.
Okay. Is there anything anybody would like to do, or are we just going to move forward?
So just move forward.
Well, we were just trying to kill the eyeballs, right?
Yeah, we were trying to kill the eyeballs, but I don't think we can touch that scroll. I think the only way to get spells is to try to decipher it without touching it, because every time we try to put it away somewhere, it comes right back to this table.
Do all of you mind if I do identify on it? It'll take about 10 minutes. I just want to see if I can learn anything about it through. Or did I do that already?
I don't.
Not on this scroll.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to do identify and possibly an Arcana check on it.
By the way, we did not check that other room, where we first encountered the imps because, again, bombardment. So perhaps we should give it a look, a once over before we go.
All right, so Sara's going to check the scroll in a couple of different ways, and who's going into the other room to investigate it?
What room are we investigating?
The room where we initially encountered the imps, but we didn't get to look around in there because again we were getting attacked.
Okay, I thought we looked around in there.
Is that the room we slept in?
No, I think, Phoebe, you're talking about the room with the 3 blood wells in him, right?
No, I'm talking about the room with the 1 bed in it. I don't think we looked in there because that's.
Oh no, yeah. Oh yeah, that's where Rowan found the hole, the portable hole.
It's where I found a portable hole.
Wasn't it? No, the one that we're currently in is where we found the hole because
that's
the table.
No. You found the scroll in this room, and you found the portable hole. Rowan found the portable hole in the room with the bed in it, with the single bed. There were imps in there, and they had made basically this area their nest. Then they came out into the room that you're currently in, and attacked you there. Remember, Galen opened up the door, and they were like, they saw him, and
yeah, I know that part, but from what I remember, I thought the infinite hole thing was in the room we were currently in.
No, she found it.
I found it under the mattress, and the whole place was just covered in feces, so it was really nasty.
Okay, then never mind then.
Okay, I thought it was the blood pool room. So okay. So you're all gonna wait for Sora to do her stuff?
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Okay. So what is the first thing you want to do, Sora?
I am going to pull out Derp Xander and cast Identify as a ritual.
All right. So you cast Identify on the spell, on the scroll, and as you do, you hear the eye opens up on the front of the spell book, and you can hear Derp Xander like,
"Wow, this is very interesting. This roll, it's very, it's got like, it's attached to a pocket dimension. That's really weird. It doesn't actually do anything specific other than, it's attached to a pocket dimension that you need to access. I'm not sure how you do that, but it's possibly like, I don't know, a word or a spell or a component or something like that.
And now I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Okay. As you look at the list, again, there's on the left side are a number of spells that you are somewhat familiar with. And on the right-hand side, there are a number of what look like components. And the spell does not match the component across from it. But there are jumbled letters in the middle of all of them. And as you're looking at it, what did you roll for Arcana?
Actually, I was thinking, would intelligence be better?
That is an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh yeah, derp. Woohoo! 23.
23. You realize that at least 3 of the material components for the spells on the list. Let's see. That you don't actually know, that aren't in your spell book. You kind of are aware, like, what they are. So, for example, and I will actually bring it up so everyone can see. So you look at the first one on the list, and you can see that it is Mage Armor. That is not a spell that you currently have, but you do know that the component for that is cured leather, not iron. You continue to look down, and you go, ooh, let's see, Arcane Eye. You recall in your studies that the actual component for that is bat fur. And then you continue to look down. You look further down the list, and you go, "Oh yeah, hold person. That's iron. The component for that is iron." But you're still unaware. Like, you're still unsure about the others. Those 3 you remember, but the others, you're not too sure of.
What's the last one on the list?
Tidal wave.
I relay this to everybody.
Do you think we have to draw a line to the component from the spell that it correlates with?
I don't know about it. I don't know about drawing a line through it, but maybe write down the letters that the lines would go through.
Well, how would we know that if we don't draw through it?
We can make a copy.
It's at this point that, Leah, you have a copy, don't you?
I do.
Do you tell them, or you don't? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell them that I've been playing with it while I was on watch, and I found a couple of words. I'm not sure what they mean or if they can help us. It's a word puzzle in the middle.
My identify spell said that it's attached to a pocket dimension, which is why it can't leave the room. So,
Leah, specifically what you know is that the jumbled letters in the middle, or some of them, probably spell out some kind of clue. But you're unsure outside of that.
Okay.
So you have Leah's copy in front of you. What do you do? What do you want to do with it?
I am going to, with the 3 that I know, I'm going to trace a line.
Okay.
Through the lettering to cured leather.
Okay, so I can do that for you. So you begin to trace a line to cured leather.
Okay, the next one was Arcane Eye, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Arcane Eye was...
Bat fur.
Bat fur. Same thing. Gonna draw a line to bat fur.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm going to trace a line from hold person to iron, it was?
Yep. Okay. All right, so those are the ones that you know for sure.
Okay. Let me see what else I can do to try and figure out the rest.
Anybody can do this.
Yeah, if you guys want to help me, I'd be ever so grateful.
I don't think that tidal
Sunbeam go to gold dust?
Say it again.
Would Sunbeam be gold dust?
Are you trying to figure it out?
That's what I would assume.
It's lost on me. I'm just making guesses.
Rowan, make a perception check for me.
$11.
11. It takes you like as you're watching Sora draw the lines through, you start to realize that these lines are actually starting to pass through and cross out certain letters.
I mentioned that out loud.
Okay, anybody else good with word puzzles?
Can we try tidal wave and water?
Okay. So Leah, you actually begin to draw a line from tidal wave to water. Okay.
What's the one above tidal wave? Because we only see the word thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's detect thoughts.
So, I think Sunbeam might actually match to magnifying glass.
It's either that or gold dust, because I think shatter is mica.
Okay. What about arcane lock? Would that be copper piece?
Anyone can do this. Anyone can be a part of the solution.
Why is
I
that
know
one?
nothing.
Does that signify something, or?
That character's going to play music because he doesn't know how to contribute to magic.
Okay, so I just want to say, from an out-of-game perspective, just because seems to be a magical thing, it is a puzzle that anybody can be part of. So don't feel like you don't have to be you can't be a part of it just because your character might not be magical. This is a puzzle. While it does it has magic as part of it, anybody can participate in this. Don't feel like
so it wouldn't be metagaming?
Not in this particular instance, because everybody is looking at it and they're making guesses.
So why don't we connect Micah and Shatter then, since Sora knows that Micah is the component for Shatter?
I don't know that. I am guessing.
You're guessing, but do you want to commit to that guess? Is what I'm asking.
I'm just checking the rest. Sure, why not?
I too could do an Arcana check?
Rowan, what spells do you know?
I don't really know spells. I just am intuitive and vibe with nature. So I don't really cast spells from a book. I just sort of ask nature to assist me, basically.
Out of game, would Sunbeam be like one of the spells that she would be able to do?
You'd have to ask her, and have to be able to tell you if she has access to it, or she doesn't have to. But yeah.
All right.
All right. So you took a line, and you from Shatter to Micah, and based on what Rowan had said earlier, you see that line crosses through the T and the E. Any more guesses?
I think we should go with Sunbeam and Magnifying Glass.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So Leah draws a line from Sunbeam to Magnifying Glass, you said?
Yes, please.
Okay.
This puzzle isn't so difficult.
Okay.
See, this is what happens when you turn into an adult. We just start overthinking things, and next thing you know, it's the simplest fucking thing ever.
All right. So you have Arcane Lock and Detect Thoughts left.
Penny for your thoughts. Arcane thoughts. Detect thoughts.
So, copper piece.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So detect thoughts to copper piece, which leaves one left.
So arcane lock to gold dust.
Okay. Okay. They seem connected.
Okay. I'm just looking at the letters we have left. So we have OTSRP.
And
Quartz.
Okay.
It spells sport.
It spells sport. It spells ports, which is a shortened word for portals.
Wait, isn't there also an E available as well?
Yeah, there is. I just saw it.
Yeah, me too.
Come on, we have to defeat the evil scroll.
It's making my brain hurt.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Let me get a piece of paper. Hold on.
Puzzles. Fantasy puzzles.
Word puzzles suck.
Depends on the type of word puzzle.
Galen continues to string his lute.
Very creepily, Galen is strumming his lute in this creepy laboratory dungeon that you are all in.
While Galen plays his lute, I take out my pan flute and start playing with him.
All right, so now there's a creepy accompaniment going on. I'm not sure if this is actually helping the situation.
We're adding
I
atmosphere.
got presto.
What did you get, Leah?
Presto.
As you say presto, there's a flash of light.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
And as this flash of light subsides, on top of the scroll are now 6 scrolls.
Oh my.
These better just be spells.
I think Leah may have earned those diamonds today.
What do you do?
This better just.
I reach for one of the scrolls.
Okay, so as you reach for one of the scrolls, You take it, and you can see that it's tied with. It seems like this very fancy, like silk ribbon. All 6 of these scrolls are, and the parchment and the scroll itself seems to be of a very thick material. Like, it's not regular parchment. It is absolutely. You are familiar with this, Sora. Treated spell parchment.
Okay.
Are you opening it up?
Yes.
Fancy.
Okay, you open it up. It is filled with arcane runes and sigils that you are unfamiliar with.
I cast comprehend languages.
Okay. Thankfully, the beginning of this spell seems to be instruction. And as you begin to comprehend what this spell is, you see that it goes into an explanation of how to cast a spell by a wizard known as Mordenkainen, and how to access something called a magnificent mansion.
I squeal in delight. I hug Leah and tell her, this is so good.
It is a 7th level spell.
Yes, I tell her that too.
I go to grab the second scroll.
Okay. You grab the second scroll. You open it up. Similarly, it is filled with runes and language that you do not understand.
Sora, can you decipher this?
Yep.
Yeah. As she gives it to you, everything begins to come into focus. And as you read it, you can see that this is... Hold on a second, where is it? This is a... Where is it? I'm sorry, I'm looking for the damn notes that I wrote. Here it is. It is a 3rd level spell known as Phantom Steed.
Phantom Steed.
All right. I pick up another scroll.
Okay. Pick up another scroll. Open that up. This is this is a 6th level spell known as Eye Bite. That's what it's called. It's called Eye Bite.
Okay. I opened we are on 1, 2, 3. I opened the other 3.
Okay. So as you open up the X3, there's 2 more 5th level spells. One is Wall of Force, and the other one is Legend Lore. And then the last one is a 2nd level spell called Crown of Madness.
See, Karina, our music helped.
Inspiration.
I don't think any of you can use these, but I can. So if you wouldn't mind.
I hand the scroll over to Sora.
Do you tell everybody in the room like what they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hide anything.
Okay. So you take the scrolls, and as you look down at the parchment where you actually made your marks, you see that it now looks almost as old and almost ready to fall apart as the other parchment that you saw previously in this room earlier.
Okay, well, I think we are done. Let's go get that eyeball.
Let's go get that eyeball.
All right,
Okay.
let's go.
All right. As you make your way through the room, back to where the eyeball is. Rowan, as you get closer to the area, you all hear,
"Interlopers, defilers, you shall not leave the lair alive."
And you wait, and you wait, but it repeats itself again. Maybe 2 minutes later. Different saying, but in the same vein of, you shall not leave her alive. He will flay your bones. Yada yada yada. And you starting to get the impression that these eyeballs were essentially an alarm system. The alarm was set off. It has been dealt with, but the initial enchantment is still there. So if you would like to take the time to destroy the eyeball, you certainly can. But that is,
I'm gonna do magic missile at it.
all right. For the sake of brevity, you over the next 20 minutes, not even the next 10 minutes, with all of you just wailing on the eyeball. Hopefully, most of you ranged, and not anybody who's taking actually melee damage will take some lightning damage. But over the next 10 minutes, the eye just turns into a quivering mass of just jello, just nasty eyeball jello on the ground, and is no longer emanating that blue light. And after about another 5 minutes of waiting to see if anything happens, there's not even the projection of voice anymore. But you are all plunged into darkness once the blue light goes out.
I tell whoever has the statue to take it out carefully, and we will all touch it and get the hell out of here.
Do we have Jake's body?
You do not.
Cannot collect Jake's body.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we see a rug anywhere that wasn't falling apart?
Everything was falling apart. But without any issues, but with some extra time for another 20 to 30 minutes, you make your way back through the puzzle room, grab Jake's body. I will say, whoever is taking Jake's body, I am going to need to have them roll, because you are bringing extra weight with you through the puzzle room that is not just yourself. And so I need to make sure that you make it through. So who is taking grabbing Jake's body and bringing it back through?
Not I. I don't want to be a frog again.
Wait.
Can we just stick him in the hole?
What was that, Leah?
10-foot drop. It's a 10-foot drop into the hole. So he's just going to splatter, which is kind of gross and not really very respectful. So I was avoiding that idea.
We don't need to just go all the way out. We can just come all the way back, wrap him up, pick him up, and have him poke the statue as well. And then we can all teleport out in the same area.
Good point.
Might as well.
Rigor set in, though.
All right. So is that the plan? You're all going back?
If I touch his body and touch the statue, would that be able to teleport him?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Yeah.
What you get, Ron? Fantasy math.
It's not the math, it's the fantasy dice is not rolling, so just give me a second.
No problem.
It's like suspense.
8.
8. Yeah, you think that'll work.
I asked Sora if that would work.
Nah, please don't metagame.
She's the wizard.
But you think it will work, so why
You're
would you
a wizard,
ask her?
Sora.
That's that. See that again? It's the point of, if you believe that it works, why would you ask her? If you give me a legitimate reason, that's fine.
I want to double check this. I don't want to get torn to pieces in the portal.
Okay. So she asked you, Sora.
Would I know?
Make an intelligence check for me, please.
Got a 19.
19. You recall the very specific instructions that Leopold laid out specifically for Galen when Galen clearly did not understand his first set of instructions, where he showed you all that the little man must be touched.
All right, put him in the portable hole. Let's do it. Let's lower him down gently.
Why can't we just have the corpse touch it as well? Like one of us holds him up and then...
Do you want to do that, Galen?
He thinks. Yeah, it's not a great idea.
Okay.
Then let's just put.
All right, so you put him in a portable hole. What are you doing next? Who's got the little man? If I recall, I believe it was Leah.
Yeah.
It's in my bag.
Okay.
Let's get out of here, guys.
All right, so you take the little man out. You all stand around Leah, and you find a spot on his body to touch. Do you recall the words? Do you recall the words to activate him?
There's no place like home.
As everyone is awkwardly trying to find a place to touch, and it's tiny. It's like this. It's like maybe 3 inches tall, and it's you can see it's slightly glowing. It looks like an exact replica of the Iron Golem that you saw earlier when you actually were teleported to Leopold's home.
With that roll, with what he said, do I remember the short chant?
Well, Leah, do you know what the words are?
In my notes it says we must say, "Take us back."
As Leah says, "Take us back," there's a flash of light, and as you all kind of like come to, and you feel like a little bit like your breath has been drawn out of you just momentarily. And as you kind of like close your eyes and then open them again, you're standing in that large round room on the carpet. Leopold is sitting back on one of the couches, his feet up. Grapes are floating from a table to his mouth as he kind of chomps. He goes, "Well, there you are. So, successful?"
Of course.
Yes.
Say we were.
Good. Let's see what you got. And that's what we're going to call it for the evening. And congratulations, you are all now level 4.
Hey.
Told you.
We're
So-
finally out of level 3. Ugh.
So, just as a reminder, we are using milestone XP, which means it's not how many things you kill, it's how many quests you complete. All right, milestones. Like, so if there is an arc, or there is something that is happening in a certain location, or for a certain character that wishes for you to complete something, or you complete a very specific arc, that happens to deal with something of your backgrounds, for example, completing those things are milestones, and will hence get you get you leveled up, because it's not XP anymore. There's too many of you to just keep doing XP. So that's what milestones are about. So I will say that if you had not completed that whole dungeon and just made your way back to Leopold, you would not have leveled up to level 4.
And that crotchety old prick probably wouldn't have helped us.
He might have just sent you back. You never know.
Like, you're not fucking lazy. Go back.
Thankfully, you cleared it. So now you won't know. But yeah, so you're all level 4 now. So congratulations.
Gotta go.
Can we change it into D&D Beyond?
Oh, okay. Oh, so she took her level and ran. Okay, hold on a second. She could have left her camera on. I don't know why she turned her camera off. Okay, so
Shauna is not the DM. No.
Not anymore. I fixed that shit. So give me 1 second.
Behind the scenes.
Oh boy.
No, that's groovy. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, so so what we're gonna do real quick, and I wish she hadn't jumped off, but we're gonna roll hit points. That was really weird, but okay.
Maybe bathroom.
Yeah, it's possible.
She ran outside to get the car seats for the kids for tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's fine, but it was just like okay.
She ditched the camera.
She's like, okay, bye, fuck y'all.
That's the weird.
That was the weird part. You know, I understand, like, you gotta do stuff, but I was like, he's like, all right, I got my level, fuck y'all, bye. It was just really funny. So anyway, okay, so let's roll XP, and just to remind everybody the way it works on D&D Beyond, your Constitution modifiers are automatically added, so you don't have to do that math. So all you have to do is roll 1 of your hit die, and that is basically the die that you roll for your hit points. You get to re-roll once. So if you don't know what your hit die is, you really should look at your character sheet more, but I will help you. So we will start with Phoebe.
Yay. Okay.
So do you know what your hit die is?
I'm trying. Okay, here we go.
Do you know what it is?
It should be my D20.
No, nobody's hit die is a D20.
If you go to your character page,
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah. Come on. Look, we're gonna start losing people because they don't want to see you take forever rolling your hit die.
Manage levels?
What?
Do I go to manage levels?
Wait. Just roll the die first. So roll your die.
Okay, it's a D10. Hang on.
Yes, it's a D10. As a fighter, it's a D10. Everybody, make sure you have your dies ready to roll. Okay, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna skip Phoebe.
I'm right here.
Okay, roll your die. What do you get?
Okay, so it says.
No. Don't look at your D&D Beyond. Take the die. Roll said die.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Okay, you're gonna go into. Okay, so you write that down. You have a 6.
Okay.
Galen, what'd you get? Roll your die.
I rolled an 8.
Nice. Okay, make sure note that down. Jarena, what'd you get?
I got a 5.
5. Awesome. Leah?
I also rolled a 5.
Nice. Sarah?
2.
Okay. Squall?
I got a 4.
4. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go into your character sheets and you're going to edit. And specifically, when you do that, go to where your hit points are, manage hit points. And you're going to add it to the existing total that's there. So where it says rolled HP, whatever number is there, you're just going to add the number you just rolled to that. So if it's a 10 and you rolled an 8, that number should now say 18. Okay? And then you just apply it, and that's it. D&D Beyond will do the rest. Your Constitution modifier is already added to that. That's all you have to do. Sound good?
Nice.
Yep.
Alrighty, so with that, thank you everybody for watching. And thank you for joining us for this great game. That was a great game, guys. You thought you got away from puzzles. Hey! You get to...
I like the puzzles.
Hey, now Rowan gets to actually... Rowan, you have to actually roll your hit points now.
How do I do that with the virtual dice?
Okay, so you have to roll your 1 of your hit dice. And you get to re-roll 1s.
Can I re-roll mine?
You could have re-rolled it if you got a 1. So sorry.
I don't know what my hit dice are.
Okay, so as a druid, it is the hit die that you use to heal yourself, which is probably, if I remember correctly, is a D8. Yes, it is a D8. So roll 1 of those D8s. You get to re-roll 1s. What'd you get? Thought for a minute she said 0. I was gonna be like, how the hell did you get a 0 and a D8?
I got a 3.
3. Okay. So you're gonna go into you're gonna edit your character. You're gonna go into manage HP. Right? And then where it says rolled HP, whatever that is, add your 3 to that number. So if it's an 11, it'll be 14. And
How
then
do I edit my character?
Okay.
Just click on the picture.
Click on the picture, right click on the picture. You'll see edit underneath. And this is for everybody out there too who uses D&D Beyond. Some helpful tips right here. And I know exactly what you're thinking. My players should know their character sheets and how to use them a little bit better, because I'm thinking it too. So did you get into the manage HP? Okay, so you go into the rolled HP, add your roll to that number, and then hit apply. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you players. The puzzles were I hope you found them as entertaining as I did.
Oh, I'm sure you found them entertaining.
Woohoo! So some very quick
Although
shout.
that last one was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. Thank you, Lauren.
No problem.
Alrighty, so few shout outs before we end up for the evening. Ty Dynamite, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Shademan78. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. Ocelotus. Wow, man. Thank you for the tier 1 subs to Miss Twigs, Call Me Papa, Coyote Wildfire, and Brightline. Thank you so much, and enjoy those emotes. Everybody who got your tier 1 subs, we appreciate you for watching, and Ocelotus, thank you so much for those gift subs. We really do appreciate it. And I also want to thank It's Legend Lore for following the channel. And by the way, It's Legend Lore is actually the artist that I was talking about earlier, Isaiah Roa, who did the amazing character work and designs for our Monster Hearts game that's going to be coming up soon. So thank you for following, and welcome. Definitely appreciate the follow. I also want to take the time for Laurie to thank Laurie, who is now our newest patron on Patreon. Thank you so much.
You don't have to do that.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. It's written in the fine print. I have to do that. But I also want to do that. But thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And we appreciate all of you as well for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This is amazing. I love these classic D&D sessions. And now that you are all back in the tower with Leopold, next week should be pretty interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
So congratulations for reaching level 4. Thank you again, everyone. We're going to, as we finish out, we are going to raid someone, like we always do, to spread the love and show the love that that you have shown us. Because again, we only are able to help each other if we lift each other up and share what we can, both our passions and our joys, but also what help that we can give. So looking right now, let's see. It looks like, yeah, we are going to raid Ion Nuke, who is currently playing Tom Clancy's The Division 2. So as we close out, once again, tomorrow I will be doing Friday Night Magic at 8 p.m. If you want to see a crazy ass deck that I put together with the new Strixhaven set, you probably want to join it. Because man, that thing is crazy. But anyway, as always, please be good to yourselves, be good to others, take care of others, and don't forget to take care of yourself. Until we see you next time, take care.